cross is a very significant symbol in many traditions, but especially in the Christian tradition. And it has a profound symbolic meaning. In the context of our discourse, it's very much related to the death and dying process. Because the nearing death experience and death itself are really, for all human beings, Christ's nearing death and dying in every human being in virtue of his complete identification of the divine nature with the human situation, with human nature, which he shared to the full, with the one exception of never falling away from the unity consciousness that he describes in the Gospels as Abba. That Abba is Christ's experience of the Father as it's expressed or experienced in human nature, in his particular human nature. So it doesn't exhaust of the full Trinitarian experience, but it expresses it in the maximum degree possible in the human condition. So in dying ourselves, Christ is dying in us in virtue of the fact that he has become the father of the human race and has incorporated us into the universal body of God, which is Paul calls the mystical body of Christ, in which through life we have been a cell. So what the death and dying are experiencing are pretty much what Christ has experienced. And so in looking into these symbols, we will find the deepest psychological and spiritual and physical even expression of what is happening to us. And it's basically, the first image is just the cross. That is to say, just the horizontal and the vertical piece without anybody on it. So this, I submit, is the symbol of the human condition, which is crucified, literally, between heaven and earth. An idea that has been vigorously reinforced by the scientific hypothesis and pretty much accepted as the reality of the evolutionary process beginning with the Big Bang 13.7 billion years ago. So we're dealing with a cosmic symbol that includes all of time and, as we will see, without exhausting it, includes all of eternity. There's post-time. So to look at a cross is to look at the human condition, that is to say, literally crucified between heaven and earth, can't go back to the earthiness of the animals while remaining earthy and having animal needs. And it can't go forward into a divine life because it's a gift that surpasses all the human efforts, but it doesn't surpass human capacity or possibilities that consent to the divine process of transformation can bring about. So you could say that we couldn't be in a worse position psychologically than we are now, when we're neither fish nor flesh, so to speak, when we have enormous opportunities and longings opening up and capacities to fulfill them, with a sense of powerlessness in doing so, or confusion as to how to proceed. And the classical description of the consequences of original sin have always expressed that in the Christian tradition and in this form, that we suffer from ignorance, not knowing where true happiness is to be found, with a human nature that longs for it, a search for happiness in the wrong places, since we don't know where to look, and if we ever find out the right direction, the will is too weak to pursue it consistently. A very dim view of human nature, but it also seems to be fairly accurate. And so the experience of most people is that life is a mixed bag, and almost any review of it, it's clear that it involves suffering and joy. It's a very varied experience with enormous diversity that is constantly coming unraveled. And that everybody has this need to develop some kind of self-image in order to survive in the world, and survival is a strong instinctual need. So in the earliest childhood, we develop basically this separate self-sense that I spoke of before, and the specific energy programs for happiness in the form of the gratification of desires for unlimited security and boundless affection and esteem, and as much power as you could possibly get away with. So the cross then, as the human condition, invites us to make the most basic response, which is to consent to the human condition. And our particular slice of it, with all its limitations and the sufferings that we personally experience in view of our world, the small world in which we live culturally, and fail to live according to our desires and experience immense frustration and various levels of alienation that might be called hell. So wasn't it Sartre that said other people are hell? But some of the existentialists have dealt with this problem, and because they don't have an answer, but they certainly have a good, lively description of the predicament in which the human psyche is placed with a set of desires firmly in place that can't possibly work, because they're in competition with 7 billion other people trying to do the same unenlightened thing.